Human existence, in all its complexity, can only be understood by examining the different levels of consciousness, each with its own peculiarities and limitations. Sages of every era have spoken of higher states of awareness, but for the ordinary man, most of these remain a mystery. This journey through the four states of consciousness invites us to reflect not only on our current condition, but also on the latent potential waiting to be awakened. Most human lives unfold within two primary and lower states of consciousness, sleep and what is commonly referred to as the waking state. In the first, the human being is immersed in a sea of dreams, disconnected images, and fragmented perceptions. This sleep represents a total passivity, where the individual is unaware of himself and his actions. The second state, which we call waking, initially appears clearly distinct from the first. In this condition, a person walks, works, interacts, and takes part in the flow of daily events. However, a deeper look reveals that the second state is nothing more than an extension of the dream. Society mistakenly celebrates this state as wakeful and aware, thus ironically mocking what clear consciousness should truly be, an expression of authentic contact with oneself and the world. Before continuing, if you enjoy this video and it stimulates your search, I invite you to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. These simple gestures help creators continue to publish content. Thank you, and enjoy the video. Through deep reflection and inner work, the human being can access a higher level of consciousness known as self-consciousness or self-remembering. This state is not automatically present in us, despite the widespread illusion that it is. It represents the first real step toward authentic awareness. Here, a person becomes aware not only of their actions, but also of who they are while performing them. Self-consciousness implies a unique connection to the here and now. This type of experience is fleeting for most of us, emerging only in rare moments, often during significant life events. However, with special training, this third state can become permanent. One of the greatest barriers to accessing self-consciousness is the mind's deception. We mistakenly believe we already possess this ability. As a result, we are not motivated to undertake the long and difficult journey required to attain it. This self-deception, rooted in our imaginary sense of individuality, represents a central knot in our existential enchantment. Beyond self-consciousness lies the possibility of the fourth state of consciousness, objective consciousness. This extraordinary level of existence, described in many religious traditions as enlightenment, cannot be adequately explained through words or concepts. It is a condition in which reality is seen as it truly is, free from the filters of the ego and the distortions of subjective thought. Even from this higher state, rare sparks may reach the ordinary man, allowing him to glimpse fragments of a superior truth. However, to truly access objective consciousness, it is essential to first pass through the third state. These two levels are intimately connected, with the first acting as a bridge toward the second. If an individual were artificially brought to the fourth state without adequate inner development, he would not be able to integrate the experience into his conscious memory. This demonstrates that enlightenment cannot be forced or improvised. It must be the result of genuine and prolonged inner work. A recurring theme in this exploration is the concept of sleep. Even when we are awake, we remain asleep, trapped in a cycle of recurring thoughts, unchecked imagination, and identification with fleeting emotions. This condition makes it impossible to distinguish between who we truly are and who we believe ourselves to be. The ordinary man lives in a world built upon personal desires and aversions. I want this, I don't want that. I like this, I dislike that. These thoughts not only distance him from reality, but also create an illusion of power and control, whereas he actually acts like an automaton. Deep down, we cannot even control the flow of our emotions or the direction of our attention. This is why the so-called waking state is defined as the most dangerous kind of sleep. At least in passive sleep, we cannot cause harm, but in the active state, we impart a real impact through our unconscious behavior, leaving marks on our lives and on the lives of others. Beyond the ordinary functioning of mind and body, the human being also possesses two higher centers, the higher emotional center and the higher intellectual center. These levels, fully developed, are always present within us, but cannot express themselves within our habitual consciousness, as the latter, degraded and limited, cannot sustain them. These higher centers are extraordinary tools for directly accessing universal knowledge and eternal truths. However, their potential remains unknown due to our enslavement to the lower centers, those governed by ego-entangled desires and the continuous flow of automatic thoughts. Reconnecting with these centers requires a radical change, an elevation of one's awareness. Only then can they become accessible and contribute to expanding our vision of life and our role in the universe. Awakening consciousness is not a sudden event, but the culmination of a long process of self-observation, discipline, and inner transformation. This journey is neither easy nor free of suffering. However, it is a path that leads to true freedom. The ability to see the world as it truly is, not through the distorting lenses of ego and conditioning. At the root of this transformation lies the acknowledgement of our ignorance. Only when we accept our condition as sleeping machines can we begin to act toward awakening. The road to understanding passes through self-knowledge, the unmasking of illusions, and the abandonment of attachments and false beliefs. Existence offers the possibility to ascend to higher states of consciousness, toward a deeper understanding of who we are and of the reality around us. But this possibility is not guaranteed, and its attainment requires continuous and conscious effort. The four states of consciousness, passive sleep, automatic waking, self-consciousness, and objective consciousness, represent not just a progression, but a philosophical map. They show us where we are and where we can go. Awakening to our most authentic reality is equivalent to rediscovering our natural right to being and universal belonging. The great challenge lies in abandoning the invisible prison of illusion. Only then can we begin to tread the bold path toward truth. This is not merely an individual endeavor, but a universal potential held within each of us, waiting to be awakened. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. See you soon in the next video.